Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Whiskey with Ivy. I hope you enjoyed our May show about labour. Now, today, whilst all our leaders of the world are trying to kill each other and destroy the world, let me give you some ideas on how to save our beautiful world. Before I tell you how to save the world, let's look at top of the news. Our DPM Heng is in China, like everybody else, because China is going to be the next biggest superpower in the world, or they may already be the superpower of the world. The only thing is, when they become a superpower, will they also become a colonizing superpower? But to our DPM, he said, Singapore is prepared for negative consequences of trade war. I'm very happy that he's given me this assurance because he's going to be our next Prime Minister. But I would like to ask him, what plans does he have? Can he please share it with us so that we can also help him to achieve his objectives? Our beloved ex-Prime Minister says the ruling party must have a clear majority at the next election. And he said the magic number is 20% opposition. I wonder where our ESM got the idea of 20% opposition. Did a bird land in Marine Parade and tell him, or what? We should just have good representation of opposition in Parliament, so that people cannot just do whatever they feel like doing, pass whatever bills they feel like passing with no respect for the people on the ground. We must have enough opposition to make the difference. So, opposition parties, may I ask you to get serious and get seriously good people who understand what politicians' jobs should be, which is to make people's lives better, and look at the areas where you can knock out a few of the useless ones who shouldn't be in Parliament. I'm sure all of you are as sick as I am listening to this China and US story. All they are doing is fighting. You know why? Men are just monkeys. And when they have nothing else better to do, they fight with each other. So, our leaders should stay focused. Don't try to tell these monkeys in these big countries what to do and how to organize their lives. Our leaders should look at our own forest and look at the people in our own forest so that they have a good life, and most importantly, that we trust our government to do the right thing. So, please, leaders, forget US, forget China, and let's concentrate on Singapore, ASEAN, and our immediate neighbours. Our very respected senior journalist called Han Fook Kwang called on the government to inject more diversity into their leadership. He suggested that more 50 and 60-year-olds be included. But my question to him is, why stop at 50 or 60? Why not 70 or 80 or even 90? Because our neighbour has a Prime Minister who is 90 over and still very, very sound in the mind and wanting to do the right thing for the country. We should also include young people who have a good mind and a good heart. And why stop at older people, younger people? We should also include the disabled. We should include various representations of businesses like F&B people, farmers, doctors, etc. We shouldn't just limit it to the scholars because they only got good degrees but they don't have this, and worse still, they don't have this. This topic is a very important topic for Singaporeans to think about. So, my poll question for this week is, Parliament should have broader representation. No, it shouldn't, or yes, it should. Look at the link and please give us your suggestion so they can hear you. Last week, our poll question was based on the drug policy in Singapore. Here are the results. 50% said continue caning and hanging. These are people who think like me. 16.7% said we should have less strict punishment. 33.3% made some suggestions. One of which is do away with hanging, just caning and life imprisonment for serious offenders. Usually, it's the drug mules that are caught, not the masterminds. I'm not sure about that, but perhaps our people in charge of this can seriously study who are the people we are hanging and caning. I don't have kids or special needs kids or whatever, but this big story about us helping special needs kids is a very important topic. And our president, Halimah Yacob, has also identified it. She urges bosses to open doors to people with disabilities. But Madam President, may I tell you that many bosses couldn't give a damn. All they're interested in is to get a good monkey who can do everything super, cheaper, better and faster. They're not going to make time to help people with disabilities. The government should do two things. Help bosses who do employ people with special needs with some funding so that they feel happy to pay 50% to employ a special needs person, and the government will pay the 50% to their CPF. The other thing is set up a stat board which makes it a point to look into the needs of these people. I believe in any country, 10% of your population has a special need. So if we have a 5 million population, we're talking about 500,000 people. That's a lot of people who needs special care and attention. And this is something we as a nation should seriously look into it. Bosses won't. The government has to push it and make it happen. Whenever I read something from the National Wages Council, it irritates me because most of those people on the council are rich and highly paid themselves. Okay? So when they suggest a $50 to a $70 pay hike for people who are earning $800 or $1,000 or even $1,500, it irritates me. What we should do is to look at this extreme CEO pay, America's economic miracle. We have the same problem in this country. Our ministers, our CEOs are all gloriously overpaid. The National Wages Council should set a rule as to how much the top gun can earn compared to the lowest gun in the country. Stop dishing out peanuts to our people. We are not monkeys. So our Minister of Education, Ong Ye Kang, is suggesting that more to learn mother tongue creatively. And I believe our other minister, Chan Chun Sing, also say that children should learn second language and learn it when they are young. So I have two questions to ask them. Number one, why do you want to learn second language at so high level? You just need to communicate, and maybe the smarter ones can even read it, right? And if you want children, mostly Chinese, to learn a second language, then why don't we bring servants, or you call them maids, in from China? Because that's how I learned to speak Cantonese, Hokkien, Teochew, Malay, and Hindi, right? So start them young, correct? But bring in the second language speakers to look after them. 我的名是爱慧，我的爸爸是印度人，我讲印度话；我的妈妈是福建人，我讲闽南话，所以我不會講華語。我日日都係講廣府話，因為我係媽姐湊大嘅。你會曉講福建話不？不曉，你來教我講。OK? Boleh cakap bahasa? Boleh. Monyet putih datang dari mana? Monyet putih datang dari langit. तुम हिंदी बोलता है नहीं जानता है हम राजपूत है हम हिंदुस्तानी बोलता है $300 fine for shooting rubber band sparks debate on littering. You know, NEA, all you need to do is slap the guy. Homeless in Singapore. Do our leaders know it, or is this another well-kept secret and they are pretending it doesn't happen and that we have no homeless people in Singapore? Another drama of sending out a package to all the Merdeka generation, 580,000 of them. If you cost it at $20 per piece, you know how much it will cost? Is wasting money, or is this a pre-election drama? Remember I told you a good idea to save the world? Grow Moringa. This is the most powerful plant in the world. And the seeds in this drumstick, I believe, is better than Viagra. And the leaves make you strong. Thank you for watching another episode of Coffee and Whiskey with Ivy. Have a lovely Hari Raya to those who celebrate that beautiful festive occasion. And to those of you who do not, please visit your neighbors who are celebrating too with some flowers. Remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already, so that you never miss my show.